A great feature we have within Sysoma is their design editor, and you can access this from the Create Post modal, whether that's on a post that you're making from scratch or whether you're going through your upcoming schedule and you want to make some changes to a post that you'd already made some time ago. To access it, what you need to do is switch to the Design tab here, scroll down, and you'll see the Edit Design button. This will open the design editor, and there are lots of features and changes that you can make within this space, but I'm just going to run through a few of the key ones that might come in handy. On the left hand side, you've got your page sizes. So if you want to change the ratio of your design for a different platform, for example, this is a really convenient way of doing that. We've also got some print options as well. You've got your templates here. So that's if you want to use a different template from your design set, you can make that change instantly here. Underneath that, you've got your image library. So these are thousands and thousands of stock photos. To find the right one for your design, you need to enter a keyword. So for example, this post is all about social media. So I might put in content creator, for example. Scroll down, find one you like, click on it, and then you'll see it added into your design. So in this case, I've got this little sort of bubble window here where my image is. So if I want to substitute that with a different image, what I can do is drag it over this space. And then how the design editor works is your design is in layers. So each piece within this design has its own layer effectively. So each piece of text, each of these shapes, for example, your logo, everything. So what we need to do is put this image behind all of these layers here. To do that, drag it into roughly the right space, click the position button in the top right corner, and then you can either bring it forwards, backwards, to the very back or front as well. You've also got different alignment options here as well. What we want to do is just send this backwards a few layers. There we go. Then we can drag it around into the right place as well. That looks about right to me. You can also add and change any and all of the text on here. So you might want to type in a different heading, for example. Move your text around. Or you can add in some completely new text. So you've got your title, heading, and paragraph fields here. So you just simply click on one of those depending on which font you want. You can change the size of your font, make it bigger or smaller. You can choose from the hundreds of fonts that we've got on here as well if you want to mix up your design a bit. You can bold it, italicize it, align it however you like, change the colors. And if you want to make your text pop off the page a little bit, so add a little bit of dimension, you can click on the shadow button here. Can make the shadow darker, for example. Can change the angle. And then if you want to make the shadow stand out more, you can increase the distance of the shadow from the text, for example. So have a play around with that, see what works. This will soften it a little bit. In this case, this effect probably doesn't quite work with this design, but in some instances it can have a really nice effect and make your text really pop off the page a bit more. If you're not happy with something, easiest thing to do is just click the delete button here. If you want to customize some of your templates, we've got some shapes here. So you can add these and again, change the color. We also have some stickers here if you wanted to add a fun and light-hearted twist to any of your posts for a change. So say, for example, you're running a poll where you need people to place their vote by using a certain reaction. You could find some relevant stickers here, and that'd be a really fun way to illustrate the task that you're giving them. You can duplicate any of the objects on your page by pressing on said object, going to the top right corner here and pressing copy element, paste element, or you've got your keyboard shortcuts, Control C, Control V, or if you're on a Mac, of course, it's Command C, Command V. If you want to make any object a little bit more translucent, you go to that same top right corner, the three dots, and you use the opacity slider. And you can see that taking effect as we move the slider. For those of you who are familiar with Photoshop, similar to the layers concept, we also have different blending modes for objects. So for example, a photo here, you could blend it with a picture underneath. So you can have a little experiment with them, see what's right for the kind of look that you're going for. In this case, I think standard normal blending mode is the best option. One important final thing to note is that when it comes to changing the colors of any of the objects on the page, whether that's text, shapes, etc., you probably want to keep them in fitting with your brand. So you might have some formal written brand guidelines, which include a color palette of hex codes that you must use within all of your marketing. Alternatively, if you don't have a sort of formal written document like this, you might be creating your own brand sort of within Sosoma, trying out some different colors within your design sets. But either way, you probably don't want to be chopping and changing your colors about too much. So when you're adding in new shapes or text, for example, you can change the color as we've mentioned. You've got your default colors here, but if you want to use a specific 6-digit hex code here, the best thing to do is go to edit and then type that hex code in the hex field here. And if you've forgotten which colors you've got, you haven't got them written down, what you can do is head over to Sosoma in another tab. Go to your settings, design lab, and then to the colors tab. You'll see all of the pre-populated suggested color palettes, but scroll down and there's the choose your own button. Here you have all of the hex codes for your primary, secondary, background colors, as well as all of the different text fields within your design sets. And what you can do is simply copy and paste these into the other Sosoma tab, which has got your design editor open. So click on the object that you want to change the color of. Click the edit button here. Paste in that hex code. In this case, I do think the white text works better here, so I'm going to go back to that. Once you're happy with everything, you press save and exit, or if you changed your mind, you want to scrap everything, you would just click close and then yes, delete it. In this case though, I'm going to press save and exit, and we can see on our post modal here in the preview section on the right hand side, all of those changes that we made are displayed correctly.